Welcome to the Arizona Wildcat Show, brought to you by Fry's Food Stores. I'm Star Sports Editor Ryan Finley here with Zach Rosenblatt. Zachy, going through your NBA Draft Flashback series, one name that jumps out, and we were talking about him off camera today, is Brian Williams, later known as Bison Dele, a guy who came to Arizona as a transfer, was sort of mercurial, how's that for a word, during his time here, held out in the NBA before he played a second in the league, rose to the top with the Chicago Bulls, won a championship, disappeared in what has to be the most tragic story I can think of. Murdered.
How's there not been a movie made about him, by the way?
Murdered at sea by his twin brother, who then
stole his
identity. I mean, if it wasn't so, I mean, it sounds made up, and it's not. Tell me about Brian Williams.
I mean, I'd read the story from Sports Illustrated or ESPN, whatever it was, a couple years.
Yes.
I was both a couple years ago, and I mean, I knew like the details of the story, but just going back into the archives again, and like just reading. This guy was just a crazy personality, so talented, but just like so many different things throughout his life, college, NBA. He transferred from Maryland just because he like said, like, I don't think the coach is going to make me any better.
Right.
He comes to Arizona, his first year, like everybody admits that like he doesn't seem like he's even a part of the team in the offseason. He visits his friend in Lebanon, comes back, then he has a really good junior season, enters the league, holds out, doesn't play until his 8th game of his rookie year. His second year in the league, he barely plays at all because of heart ailments, and he randomly blacks out. One time while he's in the pool, he blacked out, and he almost drowned, and he was like depressed. And then he goes on and he has pretty solid years with other teams, and then changes his name to Bison Dele because of his background, and then he retires randomly with like $35 million left, and then all the stuff that you just said. Like,
yeah, it's incredible. And one of the things, Zach, that I think people forget about when you talk about Brian Williams, Bison Dele, he was 6'11". He was an athlete. He might have been as good a raw, talented big man as Arizona's had maybe in 30 years. Was a guy who had all of the physical tools to put it together, and yet had so many interests outside of basketball that you wonder if he ever really got it.
Maybe basketball was never a passion for him like it is for a lot. Because even just reading up on him, he played a bunch of different instruments. He loved reading about art. And I mean, he's very intriguing. I would have loved to have interviewed him, honestly. I'm not sure how he was as an interview, but he sounds like one of the more interesting personalities ever walked through this campus.
Right, and that leads us to sort of his untimely end. It takes a rare kind of person to rent a catamaran off, I believe it was Tahiti, and go out in the middle of the ocean. And he did it with his twin brother and his girlfriend and a boat captain.
Yeah.
And 4 people went out, and tragically only 1 person came back. And it was Miles DeBoard, his twin brother, masquerading now as Brian Williams. It's
Bison Dele.
Bison Dele. It's just one of the strangest stories in NBA history.
I'm telling you, that's a movie I would watch. Like, even just his life. You said his dad was a jazz musician or something, too?
Soul singer.
Soul singer, yeah. So, I mean, you start from the beginning and go to the end. I think that's a movie.
That'll do it for this episode of the Arizona Wildcat Show, brought to you by Fry's Food Stores. For Zach Rosenblatt, I'm Ryan Finley. We'll see you next time.
Try this matchup. Low prices and faster checkout. You can count on it at Fry's.